Welcome back to our channel Historic Coin Treasures, where we uncover hidden coin rare discoveries and the real stories behind historic currency. If you love history, treasure, and the possibility of life-changing finds, subscribe now and let's discover the next hidden fortune together. Top 1. Today we are talking about one of those interesting coins that collectors always watch closely, the 1979 United States quarter. The 1979 quarter belongs to the famous Washington Quarter series. This design has been part of American coinage for many decades and features the portrait of George Washington on the front. The design was originally introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Since then, the Washington Quarter has become one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. The obverse side of the 1979 quarter shows the left-facing portrait of George Washington. Above his head you will see the word Liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" appears near the lower left area. The year 1979 is placed at the bottom of the coin. On the reverse side you will find the powerful American eagle with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. Above the eagle are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, while the denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom. Millions of these coins were produced during 1979. In fact, they were minted in 3 main locations in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark. The Denver Mint produced coins with the letter D mint mark. And the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Because the mintage numbers were high, most 1979 quarters are only worth their face value in circulated condition. However, the story becomes far more exciting when we begin looking at rare varieties, mint errors, and high-grade examples. These are the coins that collectors search for in coin rolls, old jars, and pocket change. One of the most interesting things collectors look for in a 1979 quarter is minting errors. Mint errors occur during the production process at the mint, when something unusual happens while the coin is being struck. These errors can turn a common coin into a rare and valuable collectible. One famous type of error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press during the strike. As a result, part of the design may be missing, and the image may appear shifted to one side. Collectors love these coins because they clearly show the mistake made during the minting process. Another valuable error is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to stamp the coin receives a doubled impression during its creation. When coins are struck with that die, parts of the design may appear doubled, especially in the lettering or the date. If a 1979 quarter shows strong doubling, collectors can become very interested. There are also coins known as broadstrike errors. These occur when the collar that normally holds the coin in place during striking fails to properly contain the metal. The result is a coin that appears wider than normal with a flattened edge. These unusual-looking coins often attract collectors because they clearly show the mechanics of the minting process. Another rare situation involves clipped planchets. A clipped planchet happens when the metal blank used to create the coin is incorrectly cut from the metal sheet. This leaves a curved or straight missing section along the edge of the coin. When such a blank is struck with the design, the missing portion becomes a visible error that collectors find fascinating. Collectors also pay close attention to the condition of a coin. The condition or grade plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. A coin that has circulated for years may show scratches, wear, and dull surfaces. These coins usually remain worth only face value. But a coin that has never entered circulation and still shows its original mint luster can be far more valuable. High-grade examples of the 1979 quarter, especially those graded in near-perfect mint state condition, can attract strong attention from collectors. Professional grading services carefully evaluate coins using magnification and strict standards. Coins that receive very high grades are often placed in protective holders and sold at auctions or through specialized coin dealers. Proof versions of the 1979 quarter are another interesting part of the story. Proof coins are specially made by the San Francisco Mint using polished dies and specially prepared planchets. These coins are struck multiple times to create sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. They were not intended for circulation but were sold to collectors as part of proof sets. Although proof coins were made in significant numbers, perfect examples with deep mirror surfaces and flawless fields can still command impressive prices among serious collectors. Many collectors try to build complete sets of Washington quarters in the best possible condition, and the 1979 proof coin is often included in those collections. The thrill of coin collecting comes from the possibility that a valuable coin might still be hiding in everyday change. People search through rolls of coins from banks, old coin jars inherited from relatives, and even loose change found around the house. Sometimes these searches reveal coins with unusual characteristics that could be worth far more than their face value. Imagine the excitement of discovering a rare mint error or a pristine uncirculated 1979 quarter after carefully examining dozens or even hundreds of coins. That moment of discovery is what keeps collectors searching and learning more about coins every day. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is also about history, art, and the fascinating stories behind each piece of metal. Every coin travels through countless hands, across different cities and states, carrying a small piece of history with it. The 1979 quarter represents a moment in American coinage history and continues to be studied and collected by enthusiasts around the world. Collectors often recommend using a magnifying glass or a coin microscope when examining coins. Small details that are invisible to the naked eye can suddenly become clear under magnification. Doubling in the letters, unusual marks, or strange shapes near the edges may reveal an error that could increase a coin's value. It is also important for collectors to store their coins properly. Protective holders, coin flips, or albums can prevent scratches, fingerprints, and environmental damage. Keeping coins in good condition helps preserve their value for future collectors and generations, so the next time you receive a quarter and change, take a moment before spending it. Look closely at the date, check for unusual features, and examine the surface carefully. You never know when a simple coin might reveal a hidden story or even a surprising value. The 1979 quarter reminds us that even the smallest objects in our pockets can hold fascinating secrets. For collectors and treasure hunters, every coin is an opportunity to discover something rare and exciting. Top 2. The coin we are exploring today is the United States quarter dollar from 1980. At first glance it looks like a normal everyday coin, but for collectors and coin hunters this piece of metal can hold an exciting story, rare variations, and in some cases real collectible value. The United States quarter dollar has a long and fascinating history. Since 1932, the famous Washington design has appeared on the quarter. The portrait of George Washington on the front side was created by sculptor John Flanagan, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. By 1980, this design had already been circulating for decades, but collectors still pay very close attention to each year because every year can produce unique coins, mint varieties, and sometimes valuable errors. The 1980 Washington quarter was produced at 3 different United States mints. These were the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins from Philadelphia normally do not carry a mint mark on the coin during this time period. Coins from Denver show a small letter D on the front of the coin just beside Washington's ponytail. Coins from San Francisco usually carry the letter S, and many of those coins were specially made proof coins intended for collectors rather than circulation. Most 1980 quarters that people find in pocket change are common coins made for everyday transactions. Millions upon millions of them were produced. Because of that, a typical circulated 1980 quarter usually carries only its face value. But coin collectors know that the story does not end there. Some coins survive in exceptional condition, and some coins were struck with unusual errors during the minting process. Those special pieces are the ones collectors search for. Let us first talk about the design of this coin because understanding the details helps collectors identify rare varieties. On the front side of the 1980 quarter, you will see the portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head appears the word Liberty. In front of his face you will see the motto "In God We Trust." Below the portrait you will find the date 1980. If the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, you will notice the small letter D near the date. Now turn the coin over and look at the reverse side. The reverse design features a powerful eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows which symbolize strength and readiness. Beneath the arrows you will see 2 olive branches which represent peace. Above the eagle you will read United States of America, and the motto E Pluribus Unum. Below the eagle appears the denomination quarter dollar. Even though this design remained mostly the same for many years, collectors pay very close attention to the quality of the strike and the preservation of the coin. Coins that appear shiny, sharp, and free of heavy scratches can be worth much more than coins that are worn down from decades of use. One important thing collectors look for in the 1980 quarter is the mint mark. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of coins that year, but high-grade examples that remain in nearly perfect condition can still attract strong collector interest. These coins are graded by professional grading services, and a top-quality example can be worth far more than a normal coin. Another interesting piece of the puzzle comes from the San Francisco Mint. Proof coins made in San Francisco were specially prepared using polished dies and specially treated blanks. These coins were struck with extra pressure to produce sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Collectors often purchase these proof coins in sets directly from the mint. Because they were handled carefully, many proof coins survive in excellent condition today. But what really excites collectors are mint errors. Errors are coins that were produced incorrectly during the minting process. Even though the United States Mint uses extremely precise machines, mistakes can still happen. When these mistakes slip through quality control and enter circulation, they become fascinating collectibles. One type of error that collectors sometimes search for is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin is not perfectly centered during the strike. As a result, part of the design may be missing and a blank crescent-shaped area appears on the coin. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more attention it can attract from collectors. Another possible error is a double die variety. A double die occurs when the design on the die is impressed more than once at slightly different angles. This can create a noticeable doubling effect on letters, numbers, or design elements. Collectors carefully examine coins under magnification to spot this kind of detail. When a genuine double die is discovered, it can quickly become a desirable coin. There are also coins that show die cracks, die chips, or other unusual marks created as the minting dies begin to wear out. Sometimes these features appear as raised lines or bumps on the coin. While some minor marks are common, dramatic examples can capture the interest of collectors who enjoy studying minting errors. Condition also plays a major role in determining value. Coins that have never been circulated and still display their original mint luster are called mint state coins. These coins are graded on a scale that ranges from lower mint state levels all the way to extremely high grades where the coin appears almost perfect. The difference between an average coin and a top-graded coin can mean a huge difference in collector demand. Many coin hunters enjoy searching through rolls of coins from banks hoping to discover a hidden treasure. The 1980 quarter is one of those coins that might still appear in circulation, making it an exciting piece for beginners and experienced collectors alike. Sometimes the thrill of the hunt is just as rewarding as the value of the coin itself. Collectors also appreciate the historical context of coins like this. The 1980 quarter was minted during a time when the United States economy and society were going through important changes. Coins from this period circulated through millions of hands, passed through stores, vending machines, and pockets across the country. Each coin carries a silent history of the people who used it. For many collectors, the beauty of coin collecting lies in the details. The shine of the metal, the sharp lines of the design, and the possibility of discovering a rare variation, all combine to make this hobby incredibly fascinating. Even a simple quarter can spark curiosity and lead to an exciting discovery, so if you ever come across a 1980 quarter in your change, take a moment to look at it carefully. Check the mint mark. Examine the details of the design. Look for unusual features that might indicate an error or a special variety. You never know when an ordinary coin might turn out to be something special. Most circulated 1980 quarters are worth about 25 cents in everyday use. However, a well-preserved uncirculated 1980 quarter from the Philadelphia or Denver Mint can be worth around $10 to $20 depending on its condition. High-grade certified examples can reach around several $100s among serious collectors. Proof quarters from the San Francisco Mint often sell for around $5 to $15 depending on their quality and preservation. Exceptional high-grade examples of the 1980 quarter have reached auction prices of around $1,500 when graded at the very highest levels by professional grading services, and rare error examples such as dramatic off-center strikes or strong double die varieties have been known to sell from several $100s to over $1,000 depending on the uniqueness and condition of the coin. Top 3. We are exploring one fascinating coin from the United States that has captured the attention of collectors and treasure hunters everywhere. The 1993 United States Washington quarter, At first glance, the 1993 quarter looks like any normal coin you might receive in everyday change. It carries the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front and the classic eagle design on the reverse. Millions of these coins were produced and used in circulation, which makes most people believe they are only worth 25 cents. But what many people do not realize is that certain examples of the 1993 quarter have unique characteristics, minting mistakes, and rare conditions that can make them surprisingly valuable. The Washington Quarter series has been one of the most loved coin series in American history. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the design became an instant classic. For decades, the United States Mint continued producing these coins for everyday use. By 1993, quarters were already one of the most widely circulated coins in the country. The 1993 quarter was produced at several mint facilities including Philadelphia and Denver. Each mint produced millions of coins that entered circulation across the country. Because so many coins were made, collectors often assume they are common. However, coin collecting is not only about how many coins were produced. What truly matters is how many survive today in exceptional condition or with rare minting errors. When a coin is struck perfectly and preserved carefully for decades, it can become extremely desirable to collectors. Coins graded in very high mint state condition are especially valuable because they show almost no signs of wear. A coin that looks nearly identical to the day it left the mint can command a surprisingly high price among collectors. But condition is only part of the story. Sometimes coins leave the mint with unusual mistakes that make them rare and exciting. These mistakes are known as mint errors. Collectors actively search for these errors because they transform an ordinary coin into a unique collectible point. One of the most interesting possibilities with the 1993 quarter is the appearance of double die errors. A double die occurs when the coin die used to strike the coin receives a slightly misaligned impression during its creation. This causes parts of the design such as letters or numbers to appear doubled. When this happens, the coin becomes far more interesting to collectors because the mistake occurred during the manufacturing process itself. Another error that collectors sometimes find on Washington quarters is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is not perfectly positioned when it is struck by the minting press. As a result, part of the design may appear shifted or missing. Coins with strong off-center strikes can be extremely collectible because they clearly show the minting process gone wrong. There are also cases where coins are struck with weak details due to worn dies. Sometimes these coins show missing or faint design elements. While minor weakness is common, dramatic examples can attract attention from collectors who enjoy studying unusual mint characteristics. Collectors also search carefully for coins that have been preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition. These coins have sharp details, glowing luster, and almost no scratches or marks. A high-grade 1993 quarter that has survived untouched for decades can become very desirable in the collector market. Professional grading services play an important role in determining the value of these coins. Experts carefully examine the coin under magnification and assign a grade based on its condition. Coins graded at the very top levels become rare simply because very few examples survive in such perfect condition. Imagine discovering a coin in your collection that has been hiding for years without anyone realizing its potential value. Many collectors have experienced that thrilling moment when they finally recognize a rare detail on what once seemed like an ordinary coin. That excitement is part of what makes coin collecting such an addictive and fascinating hobby. The 1993 quarter may not immediately appear special, but careful collectors know that every coin deserves a second look. A small detail, a mint mark, or a subtle doubling of letters can transform a simple piece of change into a valuable collectible. When examining a 1993 quarter, collectors usually start by studying the date and mint mark carefully. They look for unusual features, crisp details, and strong luster. A magnifying glass or coin microscope can reveal tiny details that are invisible to the naked eye. Another important factor is preservation. Coins that have never been cleaned or damaged tend to hold their value much better. Experienced collectors always recommend leaving a coin exactly as it was found because cleaning can reduce its collector value dramatically. Many coin hunters search through rolls of quarters from banks hoping to find hidden treasures. While most coins they encounter are common, the possibility of discovering a rare error or an exceptionally preserved coin keeps them searching. Every roll of coins brings a new chance to uncover something special. Over the years, collectors have reported interesting discoveries among 1993 quarters. Some coins display noticeable doubling on lettering, while others show unusual striking characteristics that make them stand out. These unique features create excitement among collectors who enjoy tracking down rare varieties. For anyone interested in coin collecting, the key lesson is simple. Never assume a coin is ordinary without examining it carefully. History has shown many times that valuable coins can appear in the most unexpected places. Even today, people continue discovering collectible coins in old jars, forgotten drawers, and inherited collections. A single coin saved decades ago can suddenly become a prized piece among collectors. The 1993 Washington quarter represents more than just a piece of currency. It is a small piece of American history, a product of the United States Mint, and a reminder that valuable treasures can sometimes hide in plain sight. So the next time you receive a quarter in your change, take a moment to look at it closely. Study the date, observe the details, and imagine the journey that coin may have taken over the past decades. You might just discover something truly remarkable. Now let us talk about the value that collectors are most curious about. In normal circulated condition, the 1993 quarter is usually worth about 25 cents, the same as its face value. However, a brilliant uncirculated example in high mint state condition can sell for around $10 to $30 depending on its grade. Rare mint error examples can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on the strength of the error and collector demand. And in extremely rare cases, a nearly perfect graded example has reached auction prices of several $100.